deep inside the portals of evil, within a dimension known as the Fright Zone, there are evils that lurk around every corner and in every cave. There are powerful evil beings that look for others to devour within their evil realm. And one such creature, diabolical creature, is Mantenna. And it is he who we will be revealing today. New Eternia, Masterverse, Mantenna.
Super Dave here with another Super Dave review. Super Dave here with another exciting Master of the Universe Masterverse review, and this time a New Eternia Wave 19 review, and it is Mantenna. Wow, this is one that I really didn't expect to get with the 4 legs and everything. But yes, coming in on Wave 19 of the New Eternia figures, another horde figure from that we saw in the Princes of Power, She-Ra and Princes of Power line. So I think it's fitting with the 40th anniversary to get this, as well as what we'll be looking at also next will be one of our favorites, especially Pixel Dan, right? And that will be Mosquitor. And then Anti-Eternia, He-Man. So we're going to be doing them in order here, and it looks really good to see Mantenna in this form. Just take a look at there and his accessories, the way you can pose him. And there's a little bio. If you'd like to pause and read that now, you certainly can. All right, let's go ahead and break open this amazing figure. I'm interested to see how they did his eyes completely, as well as how they did his legs. That's going to be very interesting and a different kind of thing than what we've ever seen in this line, Masterverse. So let's go over here in the Fright Zone and check him out. And here we are to take a look at Mantenna. And first, let's take a look at his accessories. Mantenna only comes with one set of hands, and that is some weapon holding hands here. He comes with 2 sets of eyes, though. He has these eyes that have red like veins in the sclera with a plastic covering, like a translucent yellow plastic covering over them, which really give them that pop. I loved the way they did that with the New Eternia Merman, and they also did it with the helmet on the Cosmic Enforcer Zodak, and I think another one, but this one, it just really looks good. I love that. That's a no-brainer, so that's really cool. And then he comes with another set, which is more of a translucent yellow ball, and it will attach to his weapon, that will attach to his arm, with the veins and the vessels that wrap around it, like an eye, and so you see the eyeball. And then it also comes with another eyeball, but you can remove this faceplate here and remove those 2 eyeballs and put these in instead. And you can take either this set or this set and attach them to these I don't know, like eye socket vessels that can come out, protrude out of his head. You can see them there, which is just wild. So we'll show you how that works here in just a moment when we take a closer look. But now let's also take a closer look and do his articulation. All right, let's bring our Mantenna on in here so we can take a closer look at him. He is looking phenomenal. Just look at those eyes. Again, it's just looking cool. I love the mouth, love the way they did everything. This is a real soft rubber back here. That works nice. You see his back there. The way they did his belt. Looks like that may be removable. There's a piece there. That's interesting. We'll have to take a look at that in a few moments. But yeah, his chest has that translucent yellow over it here. Plastic over it there. Looks cool. And of course you have the Horde symbol there. No armband this time, which is kind of strange. Now his legs are weird because the front ones are fine, but the back ones are designed to kind of be backwards, but I was able to manipulate them by turning this and swiveling the knee over so I could get the feet forward, but in the picture it has the feet going the other way like that, but I was able to manipulate mine to get it at least look decent where it looks like all 4 feet are going forward, and he sits fine that way, so that works. And you can, you know, shape yours however you want to, but that's just what I wanted to do. But let me go ahead and show you, since we're taking a closer look, that you can remove this face plate right here. Set that to the side, and you can see that's kind of scary, but you can remove the, dropped it, that eye, and these are hard to get out because they're more recessed in. Kind of turn it and try to pop it out without shooting it across the room. It was easier to come out off camera. Oh man. There we go. All right. So let me set him to the side for a moment. And I'll go ahead and show you this gun right quick. You see where it will clamp to his arm, his forearm. It's got the handle there. Even has the Horde symbol coming over that cuff. Nice attention to detail there. And then again, the iris or the blood vessels, whatever they are, that wrap around here. And there's an eye, but this one will come off, pops right out, and you can put one of these eyes that we just removed on the end of that gun. So you can do that. Now, bringing these into the picture, you have these cool things that look like, you know, his eyes are popping out of his head. You can put his alternate eyes in there, like so. And then what you would do is you go ahead and just put on the face plate here. Snap that back on there. And then you can pop these right in, and they go in very nicely, very easily. And now you have his eyes popping out, and you could, you know, turn them around this way. You're going to be able to put them however you want to by just rotating them. But there you have it. Isn't that cool? That is so neat. So cool. Now, you can also pop these out and use the original eyes that were in his socket. And you can use them as well, as you can see there. So that's cool too. So either way you want to do it, you're going to be able to do Mantenna however you want to. It's really neat. I love the eyes. They are the feature. They're the highlight, of course. And here's Mantenna with his alternate eyes. So there he has a little bit more of a calm demeanor. His eyes look a little bit more, I guess, less angry. They're just wide. They look calm. And there is his regular eyes with the extremely red eyes, like somebody that needs Visine in a major way. So that's cool. But then look at his gun. It wraps around his wrist. You can plug it right into his hand. And then look, instead of putting the eye on the end, you could attach 1 and 2 of those things and have his eye coming at you. Isn't that cool? Or you could just do the one. Or you could do none at all and just have the eye at the end of the gun. Isn't that cool? So you have options. That is just really neat. Cool weapon. So that's definitely something we've never gotten with Mantenna. That's this cool gun that allows you to do so many different things with his eye. All right. Looking at his articulation, you're going to be able to look up a really good amount there. Just take a look at that. He's able to look up very good. He's able to look down very good. That's excellent. He's even able to get some head pivot, which is cool. And he will turn left to right, of course. Now his ears don't really move much, but they are soft, as I mentioned, and that is just really cool. All right, his arms will do 360. He will strike a nice T-pose, and this little fin right here does kind of hit the shoulder armor there, so it's not quite 90, but you could probably, fudge it a little bit and get there. But it's good enough. It's definitely good enough. He has bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that get perfect range, swivel and horizontal hinged wrists with removable gauntlets there. As you see, I like these fins that were molded in to there. Now, I'm not sure if there is let's go ahead and see if there is a diaphragm joint, because obviously you can't get to it with that on. So let me check and see if his head will pop off. And yes, his head pops right off, and you can remove the chest armor, and so there is a diaphragm joint under there, so you're going to be able to bend forward about that much and bend back a really good amount too. So that's just very interesting, really cool. You also have that nice smooth tripod at the waist to swivel. But we'll also do some tilting, so you get the full hula hoop, and you have a regular swivel at the waist. So that is nice, really cool. And the chest armor is really easy to pop back on with those tabs, so that's a nice touch. Moving on to the legs, we really don't have a drop down method. You do have thigh rotation in all 4 legs. They're going to be able to go out all the way, pretty much split. You'll be able to kick up that much with that one. Pretty much the same there. Yeah. So they'll kick out. And like I said, it's kind of designed to go like this. But if you turn that and then turn the knee, which is actually away from where the knee should be, you can get both feet going forward if that's your desire. So however you want to do it should be perfectly fine, because he will stand up either way. He will stand up. He's only got single jointed knees, and then as we see, they are able to swivel, so that helps you. No boot cut. Wish they had done boot cut. That would have made it easier to rotate that foot. Doesn't get very much tilted down, and not much at all tilting up. I mean, it will shift, but not much. And then you do get rockers. You get peg holes in all 4 feet. But yeah, limited ankle movement for Mantenna, but that is his articulation, and that is definitely special and unique to this character, with the 4 legs and the way his head is done and his eyes and the way that mask removes so you can exchange the eyes. So this character is awesome. I don't know anything really other than maybe the ankles that they could have improved on this guy. Really nice. All right, now let's do some comparisons. And here is our Mantenna next to our Filmation Club Gray Skull by Super 7 Mantenna, as well as our Masters of the Universe Classics Mantenna. Definitely looks more like this one, but I have to say, even compared to the Classics, this is one competition that I believe Masterverse wins out, because he just looks phenomenal. Really think that this Masterverse figure has taken the prize this time, not only with his aesthetics and his look and his articulation, but his head and those eyes, and then his weapon and even his armor and his legs. Look, you have black feet over here, you have blue feet over here. Of course, he has like the logo on those shins, but you have a little bit of the logo on these shins here, but then he's got the red feet, and I think that just stands out so well here. I really do. I just think he looks phenomenal. And then he's got that, you know, over here he's got like a painted yellow crest on his chest, and here you've got that translucent yellow crest on his chest that laminates or covers over the plastic there. So that's really cool. He's got the logo of Horde on there, Hordak, and as of course it's more detailed over here. Classics tends to be more detailed in some things, but you can see how much depth there is to that logo. And then you've got the Filmation, very simple, looks just like he stepped out of the She-Ra cartoon there.
I'll get you. Stand back, God. My freeze beam will stop him.
But man, this Mantenna is just really awesome. Just really awesome. And I just don't think, you know, I don't think there's any competition here. I think Mantenna has won the day. The Masterverse New Eternia. I don't know why they didn't say New Etheria, except for their, you know, just trying to, you know, include him in the whole New Eternia motif. Let's go ahead and turn him around so you can see the back too here. Let's compare the back. Yeah, very much similar to the back of the Classics. Like almost like there's a spine coming up there, and you don't get as much of the spine, but you get those layers of almost like a scale type thing. Not much on the back of this one, but yeah, just looking really cool. There's some detail on the back of the head here. Detail on the back, lot of more detail on the back of the head here. But yeah, looking so cool. Looking so cool here. Awesome looking figure. So there's your Mantenna comparisons. Now let's look at him with some other Masterverse action figures. And here is our Mantenna next to Leech, the Masters of the Universe Masterverse Leech, New Eternia Leech, looking awesome here next to Mantenna. As we know, Leech is quite a bit shorter than Mantenna, especially in this universe. There's been some, you know, that have questioned that, but I think that's a good look, because Leech did seem to be a little bit shorter in the cartoon. And then we have our new Etheria Hordak, and he is looking cool next to this Mantenna as well. Just an awesome looking figure. I love the way they did the wings. You can stand it up to almost simulate the whole logo thing of Hordak. See, with the wings up, you can do that, or you can put them down. You can see my review on him. But yeah, Mantenna is looking so neat with these eyeballs and next to these other characters. And then here is our Mantenna next to our Horde Skeletor, who is a really nice looking character also. And of course, Mantenna is giant next to him. There's one thing, if I had, you know, to change on this character. There's only one thing I can think of, and being that this was a removable piece anyway, that faceplate, I wish they had given us a closed mouth version. That would have been perfect. Just so he's not, gaping mouth open all the time. And then here's our Masters Universe Classic Mosquitor, the Classics. We're getting ready to review next our Masterverse new Eternia Mosquitor. And that is going to be so fun because this is one of our, just one of the best looking, detailed, creative looking figures. We know it's Pixel Dan's favorite, but yeah, he's looking good even next to this Classics Mosquitor. We'll be taking a look at that Masterverse one next, but yeah, just look at how cool Mantenna looks with the Fright Zone in the background, just looking so cool here. Awesome. And here is our Mantenna next to Clawful. New Eternia Clawful looking awesome and intimidating. Can't wait to get that Mundo Clawful in 1/12 scale, the 2000X, because I think he's going to be even the greatest of all. And I hope that they will fit in scale with the Classics and the Masterverse figures, because that Clawful by Mundo looks incredible, and Mantenna does here too. I don't know how anybody would improve on this Mantenna, but I seriously doubt we'll get that deep in the Mundo, because I don't know if there was a 2000X Mantenna. There probably was, but then look at how he looks next to the new Eternia Horde Trooper over here. Isn't that awesome looking? He's looking really good next to him. Horde Trooper still taller than Mantenna, and then there's the Classics Horde Trooper, quite a bit smaller, shorter than the one that we get from Masterverse New Eternia. But there you have Mantenna next to these awesome big boys. And here is our Mantenna next to our new Eternia Deluxe Beast Man, sporting a Hordak MX head sculpt there, looking awesome. And then our Mantenna next to our Cobra Khan, new Eternia Cobra Khan, complete with hood and the poison spray coming out of his mouth, looking so neat here. One of my favorite figures in the Masterverse figure, this Cobra Khan. Such an excellent job they did on him as well. Love all of these figures done by Masterverse. And this Mantenna is no different. They did an excellent job on him, even executing the 4 legs. Just such an awesome part of the collection now to have Mantenna. Just so neat, this Masterverse line. Hope they continue this, or at least in the vintage collection or whatever is coming next, because I hear there's new changes coming down the pike. So if they're not doing new Eternia Masterverse, hope they continue the line in some form, because we're enjoying these figures, and I'm sure many of you out there agree. All right, now it's time to do some photos in the photo gallery. Thank you for joining us for this Super Dave review, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Be blessed. Here's some photos in the photo gallery.